Hey everybody, so we're going to talk a little bit about how to take care of your camera and what to do on how to clean it up if it gets dirty, from both the outside to the lenses to even the sensor that resides in the camera. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so here I got some of my cameras and some cleaning supplies just to talk about how to take care of the exteriors of the camera and then move on into the lenses. But first is try to store your camera in a camera bag or someplace where it's not going to accumulate dust. I have a pretty dusty studio. I have a rug. I have some other fabrics in this studio. Walking, coming and going. There's a lot of small dust particles and dust that's going to accumulate. So putting your camera away will avoid that first hurdle. Second is, let's see what I got here. So I have a regular just microfiber cleaning cloth. This is just fine for exteriors of your camera. You want to be a little gentle though with your screen backs on your camera. With this could scratch it if you really are rubbing it hard. And in this case, like a softer microcloth fiber that comes with a camera lens cleaning kit might be better. But this is a good first place to start. Also, I have some optical lens cleaning tissues specifically for cleaning lenses. I have the lens cleaning fluid, and I have this little brush, which came with a Canon lens cleaning kit, but it could be anybody's brand. It kind of works like a lipstick, but this is a brush that you can use to help brush dust off, and this would especially be good for the lenses rather than general cleaning. And then lastly, I have a blower brush over here, and it has a little nozzle and it gives a very focused push of air out, which we'll be using different places. So the first thing I wanted to say is, like, use this to clean the exteriors of things. So here's my lens cap. Great to have a lens cap. Keep that on. But what I find is I put it in my pocket while I'm shooting. Make sure not to lose it, right? But as it does that, there's a lot of lint in here. Hopefully, like, I think you can see if you get up close. It's not such a pretty clean thing, so I'm also kind of adding dust there. So again, you can use this and just kind of try to wipe away some of that periodically, and that definitely helps. So give your cameras a once over now and then with something like this. And the great thing about this is it's reusable, so you can use it on your camera, you can wash it, and then you can use it again. There are a lot of little tiny surfaces that can get dusty on your camera, and so just going and doing a once over with this lightly is a great way to get dust off. So just another note, like, sometimes some things can be removed, like this is an eye piece on this Canon 5D Mark II, which allows me just a little bit more access to get in here and get some of these hard to reach places. Now I'm using a dry, entirely dry cloth, and that's preferred. If you're finding you really just need a little bit something more, you could give something just a little bit of moisture, but cameras are not generally waterproof, and you want to be careful about getting any electronics wet for fear that you're going to have some other issue. Now, if you're having a little bit of problem of getting into one of these difficult areas, you could use this and try to just blow some of it out. That's not always going to do something for that's set in well, but it's another way. And I would never use any more than a 50-50 water and alcohol combination, but really water would be preferred for cameras, especially seals and the rubber areas and stuff like that. Okay, let's talk about how to clean lenses. So often, as we talked about, you'll get a little dust accumulation on a lens. You can see with this lens here has been cleaned in that long. You can definitely see some dust on the surface of that. So I'd like to clean that out. Now this outer part is kind of pretty easy, but you want to always be really delicate with any optics glass, because no matter what you're using, if you push hard enough with and put in enough pressure, you can scratch glass. So you want to do this lightly and delicately, because once you scratch something, you can't unscratch it. So the first thing I would probably do is just get my little blower brush here and see what I can do with that. You know, just a little bit of air does quite a bit. Then the next thing is if I had something like this around, like a brush, I would just kind of come in here and brush it. And if I can get everything done that way, and I'll kind of usually come in a little arc fashion, go around in a circular motion, boy, that's looking pretty darn good to me. But if there's a persistent thing or something that's just not quite budging, your next step is going to be getting out your specific lens cleaning tissue. These look like really, really thin tissues, but they're much stronger than a typical tissue that you would use for your nose, and they are dust free, which is very important. So you don't want to use a regular Kleenex for this. And we'll get one out. And you can get these kind of lens cleaning kits obviously at camera stores, camera supplies, but you could also find it on online at a place like Amazon. You'll be able to find a lot of things. So you can see that the texture is sort of like, it almost looks like a dryer sheet, but it's not. But it's that kind of almost fibrous material. And what you do is you take a little bit of your lens cleaning fluid and you'll just put a drop, not on the lens, but on this. And then you'll kind of come in and you'll look at that spot and you'll sort of come around, and you want to use a circular motion again while you're doing this, and just try to clean it. And you really want to make sure that this is clean. And I used that wet side. Now I'm going to come with a dry side and move around. And you want to try to just go to a new area each time you're interfacing. And I'm not scared of it, but I'm trying to do that nice and lightly. And then that should be pretty darn clean. If I need to, I could use my other cloth here. This is my kind of really soft microfiber cloth. Just get anything else that I missed. And that's the best way. Now, if you don't have a lens cleaning solution on you, the next best thing is you're just breathing some moist air from your mouth, because that's going to put a condensation, a little bit of fog on here. You can use that as a way to help you better clean than you could just with the lens tissue alone. It kind of acts as next best thing. So that's what I would do in that case. And don't forget, you can clean this side, but you can also clean the back side of the lens too. Hopefully that doesn't get as dirty because it's not out to the elements as much, but you would clean that in the very same way. One other thing worth mentioning is if you are going to be cleaning a lens on your camera, remember, if you're going to take it off the camera, okay, anytime you open your camera to the elements, you're asking for dust to come into this. So at the very least, you'd like to not have it sitting down like this. You like maybe it's on its side if it has to be open. But even better than that is you ought to have with your camera a body mount, okay? And this body mount will fit onto here like this. So it acts as a cover to help prevent things happening to it while you're working on your lens. Another option would just be, you know, to put one, if you have two lenses, you can switch lenses and work on one lens at a time. That's also good. A last bit of a pointer is if you're using your lens tissue and you're cleaning, and you got a little bit of, right, got a little fluid on there and it's going to be wet on the surface. These are very non-absorbent, right? So you'll be pushing the water around, which is a good thing because you'll be cleaning the lens. But as this starts to dry, you want to make sure to dry this off well with another lens cleaning tissue. Or if that doesn't seem to be doing the trick, you just want to very lightly rub as it's going. Or you may, if you have a really clean, soft cloth like this, you can use it to just rub this down. Otherwise, you may get some spotting on the lens just from the drying of that solution. So to avoid that, you want to just kind of very gently, of course, but keep wiping that down until it's fully dry.